the 21st century, it presents a lot of challenges for moms. Many. And it takes wisdom, it takes knowledge, it takes understanding that you can only get and find in the Word of God, that you can only get through being close to the Lord. And, you know, personally, that is a real challenge for me as a woman of God, just to stay close to the Lord, just to be able to worship Him, just to find time, because everybody is you know, you have your job, your career, you know, educational pursuits, everything is pulling from your relationship with the Lord, and all day long you spend trying to establish relationships with everybody else, and then at the end of the day you're so tired you don't feel like doing anything but going to sleep. But you know, God quickly reminds you, you have to spend time with me. You have to get in the Word. You have to pray. You know, even in the midnight hour, you'll find yourself, you have to get up and pray when He says pray. And that's not always easy. And I find that to be a challenge. That's really challenging for me at this point in my walk. Because before I was a stay-at-home mom, I know what that's like, because you have lots of time to devote to the Lord. You know, but then when you become a working mom that's not in the home, and I have to say it that way, simply because a lot of people don't think that being a stay-at-home mom is work. And that's work. That's work. So being a working mom is really challenging. Getting everybody up in the morning is a task. Getting everybody dressed, getting everybody out to school on time has really been a big thing for us lately. Getting to work on time. And it just tears me apart because, like I said, I used to be a perfectionist, such a perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect. And I don't want to be late. They all know that. Mom does not like to be late. So, you know, I just thank God because my mom always says, you know, these things shall pass, or something like she always says. So I just always keep that in mind, like just to take one day at a time. That's all you can do as a mom. And being a mom with young children, that's what you need to do, is just to take one day at a time, because the kids grow up fast and they grow up quick. And from what I've been told, that, you know, you need to enjoy this time, because when they become teenagers, look out. So I keep that in mind. This is the easy years. Even though it seems hard for me, it's the easy years. And I looked up mother in the dictionary too. And to be a mother is one who exemplifies and has maternal love and tenderness. It means to give birth to, create, and produce. It is a female or thing that creates, nurtures, or protects. And it means to watch over, nourish, protect maternally, to act or serve as a mother. So whether you have children or not, you know, women, we all have that maternal instinct in us. We all have that need to want to nourish and protect others, especially, you know, children, our family members. We all have that innate ability in us to do that.
Now, from this place of true worship, humility, and restoration, we can now train up a child in the way he should go, knowing that when he is old, he will not depart from it. The phrase train up has the idea of a parent graciously investing in a child, whatever wisdom, love, nurture, and discipline is needed for them to become fully committed to God. It presupposes the emotional and spiritual maturity of the parent to do so. The phrase, in the way he should go, means that we are to do the training according to the unique personality, gifts, and aspirations of the child. Mothers must resist the temptation to raise children out of fear of what happened to us, lost dreams, and try to get our children to fulfill whatever we never achieved, or as an extension of ourselves, assuming that our children are the same person that we are. It also means to train the child to avoid whatever natural tendencies they might have that would prevent total commitment to God. And Sister Angie shared that so beautifully, how she saw the natural tendencies in her own children, how she is training them to avoid tendencies that would prevent them from having a total commitment to God. For example, a weak will, a lack of discipline, or even a susceptibility to depression. So the promise is that proper development ensures the child will stay committed to God. Ephesians 6:4, and you fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord. This is one of those places where even though the word specifically speaks to fathers, it's obviously the same for mothers. Provoking a child to wrath means to exasperate the child. Exasperation is caused by placing burdens, responsibilities, expectations, and even discipline upon a child that is beyond what they can bear. We cannot raise children with the old unbiblical philosophy, it was good enough for me, so it's good enough for them. Just think over your life. Did exasperation work in raising you? Why would anyone think it will work with their children? If Jesus said his yoke is easy and his burden is light, why would we place a heavier burden and yoke on children than even God would place on them? God holds parents responsible for the upbringing of children. Although grandparents, schools, the state, youth groups, peers, and friends may influence children, the final duty rests with parents, particularly the father, whom God has appointed head to lead and serve his family. Two things are necessary for the proper teaching of children: a right attitude and a right foundation. An atmosphere reeking with destructive criticism, condemnation, unrealistic expectations, sarcasm, intimidation, and fear will provoke a child to wrath. In such an atmosphere, no sound teaching can take place. The positive alternative would be an atmosphere rich in encouragement, tenderness, patience, listening, affection, and love. In such an atmosphere, parents can build into the lives of their children the precious foundation of the knowledge of God. It was a challenge to raise my children this way. Now that they are adults, I can look back and see why the Word of God is the absolute authority in how to train a child. Another one of the things that had been said to us along the way, especially since we have sons, was that you can give them too much love. You can love them too much. You can spoil them with love. And you can't. You can never give a child too much love. You can spoil them by not giving him discipline or giving him boundaries, but you can never give a child too much love. There's no such thing. Even boys, they need love too.